One tip that you might have for the audience to get a better understanding of how big data can be helpful to them?
When we talk about big data, we should also think about how long big data will be useful for us, because you all know AlphaGo from DeepMind, who beat the champion of the Go player. However, later AlphaGo, DeepMind developed AlphaGo Zero, which means, so originally AlphaGo's algorithm was trained by human data, like in the past 2,500 years, how human played Go. But AlphaGo Zero is built from scratch without any input of human data. It's just basic rule of Go. And they use reinforcement learning to train the algorithm. And within 40 days, it beat the previous version, which was trained by human data. So actually, when we are, I think there's a big hype about big data, but we also need to think about how long we will need the input from human beings. Or actually, maybe in the future, algorithm will become really smart that they can teach themselves better without any input of human data, and how long we are from that data. So this is something I want to highlight to the audience, that we need to think about it.
Yeah, and how soon before the big data gets rid of the pesky humans who are just interfering and making a mess of things.
Yeah, early this month, DeepMind also released AlphaCode, so which AlphaCode beat 46% of human programmers. Yeah, so which means programmers, Yeah.
Man, we're becoming obsolete quite quickly from the sounds of it.
I would like to remind people that shouldn't scare themselves too much with the word big data. I think if you are watching this or if you are reading about it later, you have a brain. Your brain is a big data processor even before we used to call big data, right? And most people make very complex decisions in their lives, even if they have no technical background. So we are doing it. We have been doing it for generations. What we're talking here about is getting yourself acquainted with the basic concepts and get a better understanding for the technological landscape that it will affect your life. So your brain is already doing it. It's not something that is completely alien to you. We just have to put a terminology around it, right? So it can be really fun. It doesn't have to be scary regardless of your background. You just have to find the right sources and talk to the right people.
So one thing I would remind is keep the end in mind, what we're trying to get out of it. And there's no one speed that every organization has to go with. Depends on your maturity level. And better to, and you need to get comfortable with it yourself, right? You get comfortable with it and you realize how it can help. That goes a long way in building the tribe that will support whatever you're trying to do in an organization.
Great. Okay, very good advice from each of our panelists. I think as a journalist, for me, dealing with data was not uncommon. We would go to the library, we would get information. It's just that it's also readily available now. So, which means we got a bit more time. So the thing now is, how do we make better use of that time? And maybe that's a bigger decision in terms of what big data allows you to do. It takes out a lot, it clears a lot of the systemic clutter that is often found in a lot of organizations. It gives you a bit more time and headspace to figure things out.